It all began in Mexico. Government of Jalisco invited 3 companies from the world of ceremonies to come and make presentations. And they told us nothing. They said they gave us a brief to come and make a presentation, an hour or something, and present our ideas, what we think the show should be. So up on the big platforms here and here are big projectors that come, and we can fill the field with image on the ground, plus fill the halo with images, video images.
Everything is live.
Everything is live. Everything is live.
There is no trick.
No tricks. We came to Mexico for a year, and we listened to a lot of people. We had incredible collaborators from here in Mexico that knew the music, that knew the dance, that knew the choreography, and just to pull all of their ideas together and then sculpt them into a magic opening and closing ceremony. That was our job, and we're very happy to be here.
Juan Aguirre, yo soy el gerente de producción, Production Manager, y me encargo de relaciones con el cliente, finanzas y arreglar problemas cuando hay que necesiten la intervención de Copag.
Se había discutido durante muchas tardes la temática, se habían hecho muchos cambios, se había hecho sugerencias, pero todo lo que nos dio la imaginación y lo que vimos se quedó corto al momento de la ceremonia de apertura. Lo que ya vimos ya con todo trabajado al mismo tiempo fue sensacional.
Basically, my job is to oversee how everything looks and feels, choreography, lighting, pyro design, music, all aspects of the creative in the ceremony. These are my favorite kind of projects, to come to a new country and really absorb the culture and really try to get your head around what it is that makes people how they are here, what people are proud of, where they are now, where they're going in the future. These are the things that we tried to capture on this show. I remember taking a tour through Guadalajara and going into Hospice Cabañas and seeing Jose Clemente Orozco's work, and it blew my mind. Unbelievable. For me, that was the beginning of the Cultura segment. There's so many beautiful segments. I mean, clearly innovation was a crowd favorite and crazy, and the energy of that was unbelievable. Peace segment with Juanes and the Doves, very different feeling, but so beautiful and soulful. In closing, Bustamante's segment, and his art is so deep and rich and such a feeling. And then Ario, who is our music director, wrote an amazing piece of music. And then Spinifex, who is the best at video content in the world, really did that amazing projection.
The biggest challenge is taking the needs of really large headline talents. We had amazing, amazing performances, amazing musicians on this show. Just the top of the top. Ricky Martin, Juanes, Maná, Eugenia Leon, we had Lila Downs. We're such great big stars that are used to things happening in a special way. Many of them came right from tour to be a part of the ceremonies. So telling them that they're going to be a part of a segment and we only want them to do one song. We have 5,000 athletes, and we have protocol, and we have flags. So you have all of these different little elements to make work, and making sure that they understand that it's about the ceremonies, it's about the athletes, and taking their beautiful creative vision and making it fit with the creative vision of the ceremonies, and combining that with the entertainment. That's a challenge, but I think we did it.
We knew that Guadalajara wanted a very modern look, so being vertical and having the ability to have performers fly and video fly and all these things was part of what they wanted. So we came up with the idea of the halo to bring the performance area in.
The halo was 72 tons hanging in the middle of OmniLife Stadium. It came in a little bit more than what we had originally specified. The challenges were to make sure the roof, the stadium, could hold the weight and to make sure that it did all the functions.
But the halo is 70 tons of structure, which was integral to the show. From a projection, it held a projection screen, it was our support for the aerial work, and also contained lighting and pyro.
Once we had that idea to have a halo that looked like it belonged to the building, that if the architect had designed a circle in the sky, it would look like this because it would look like the building. So we tried to make a halo that really fit the structure.
So hanging 70 tons off the roof of a stadium.
Only held by cables. It's never been done before like this. So it was a very technical challenge and many, many, many hard, sleepless nights working with the engineers to make that.
Prop supervisor for the ceremonies, for opening and closing. The creative team will get together and they'll work out what they want. We worked on organizing, on setting up people to build things and making contacts with everything that we needed, from the agave to the tubes and the wings to actually then chairs, the chair covers, and flashlight stunt, obtaining all the flashlights. My favorite prop for this show probably would be the tubes and the wings, and of course the agave.
Soy diseñadora artesanal mexicana y estoy en este gran proyecto para diseñar, para crear el vestuario de la inauguración y clausura de todos los participantes. Un gran compromiso. Cuando me platicaron que era el mostrar el alma de México, tenía que mostrar vestidos que forman parte de nuestro folclore, como es el baile, vestidos que utilizan las mujeres charras, las mujeres de la escaramuza, que tienen una etiqueta en el vestir y que cada detalle que esté en los vestidos está fundamentado.
Consistió en una revisión de las piezas más simbólicas de lo que yo hago, y estuvimos revisándolas una por una y luego se fueron viendo las posibilidades de que se agrandaran o fueran elementos con los cuales se pudieran crear máscaras o el vestuario o parte de un vestuario, parte de un ballet. Y yo nunca me pude haber imaginado que mis piezas podían tener pies y manos, ¿no? Y que se iban a mover, ¿no? O que podrían bailar. Pero al ver lo que estos muchachos han logrado y las posibilidades que les da de por sí a las piezas, me parece muy bien y es parte de una creatividad que yo creo que le suma más a mi obra en lugar de que le reste. Creo que va a ser una forma mucho más rica, ¿no? La está enriqueciendo y la está haciendo mucho más interesante.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8 y 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sigues nada más. Izquierda, derecha, izquierda, derecha.
Mi nombre es Alejandra González Anaya y soy la directora de coreografía de las Ceremonias de Guadalajara 2011. El departamento de coreografía consiste en estar a cargo, ser responsable de toda la danza, desde la danza folclórica, la contemporánea, la aérea, la charrería, el hip hop. Entonces, realmente todo el talento humano que estuvo bailando en las ceremonias estuvo a nuestro cargo. Al venir a Guadalajara y comenzar a trabajar, empezamos a ver cuánto talento había. Y pensamos que era mucho mejor, en lugar de traer coreógrafos de México o de otro lugar, pues ayudar, apoyar y traer el talento que ya existía aquí.
My name's Phil Hayes. I'm the Director of Aerial Performance, and so anything that humanly flies on this halo I'm responsible for, in terms of the performance, the choreography, the organisation of the winches and how they're fitted together, and anything that flies in between that halo and the stage. So we have a section on sport, we have a section on innovation, a section on cultura, and a section on peace. We have 26 aerialists, and they all have one role in the show. Even from the auditions that we've done in Guadalajara, the energy of the aerial performers, the energy and support that the aerialists in this city have for each other has been amazing. I said to them at the audition, London doesn't possess this sort of collaboration, this sort of support for each other. It's far more competitive, and there's been quite a unique thing that Guadalajara has.
My name's Jane Miskovich, and I'm from Australia, and I'm really happy to be here as Director of the Protocol segments and the Parade of Athletes for the PanAmerican and Parapan Games. The work of the Protocol Department is for us to make sure that all of the elements which make the ceremony a ceremony more than a show are actually in place. So it's the speeches, it's the flags, it's the oaths, it's all of the things that actually make this ceremony an official event for the PanAmerican Games. And the biggest job we actually have to do is the Parade of Athletes, which was 5,500 athletes. So without having a strong team, we just would never have made it happen, because the Parade of Athletes is the biggest part of the show. It's the part that most people are interested in. It's the only part that never gets rehearsed. About 5 minutes before the parade, no matter how many schedules we posted, how many meetings we attended, how much planning we did, the athletes were just wandering around the village, having a lovely time, having a coffee. So 4 minutes before we had to move, all the volunteers started running around and yelling and getting all the athletes involved. 2 minutes later, we had 5,500 people organised, and we started our parade. So that was a bit crazy, but it worked. One thing that was never hard was to get everybody enthusiastic and energised and really wanting to do the best job that they could.
One of the things that I realized here from the very beginning was what a great team had been put together to work on the ceremonies, from the volunteers to everybody that was working on the show, having everything come together. People were so enthusiastic and so happy to be working on the show, and really proud. You know, it wasn't just, this is a show, this is a job I have. It's something very proud, and people were very excited to show Guadalajara.
Al momento que empieza el espectáculo, la apertura, todo el mundo queda con la boca abierta. Y la verdad es que a todos nos renació un sentido de orgullo de que los mexicanos también podemos hacer grandes cosas.
And I think when all of that came together on the night, October 14th, we exceeded the expectations. The audience went away, and I'm still hearing people talking in the streets.
When I'm sitting among that, it washes over you, you know, takes it to another level. When you were there, you're sitting there, and you feel that there's no words to describe, you know, when that many people, when 50,000 people are all having the same thought of happiness at the same time, it's a powerful thing.
So when I actually saw all of those athletes in the tunnel coming down, the marshals working really, really hard, all of our volunteers, making sure that the athletes did their route and sat down and they still had great energy, and then to actually hear the 50,000 people in the stadium being really warm and generous to all of the teams.
At the opening ceremony, the Mexican audience stole the show. When they got their flashlight and they got excited and they had a great time and they performed with us.
Pues también no deja de asombrarme y de tocarme el corazón de todo lo emocionado y locos que estamos.
Having all of that come together to show just the beauty of Guadalajara and also just, I mean, the people. It was incredible.
You know, just enveloped by it. Like, everyone wanted us to be here and wanted to do a great show and open their hearts and their homes to us. And for that, I just want to say muchas gracias.
I'm really proud to be here. I'm really proud of the team, and I'm proud of what I saw us all accomplish together.